De Officiis, episode 18. Atque haec quidem quaestio communis est omnium philosophorum, quis est enim, qui nullis officii praeceptis, tradendis philosophum se audeat dicere, sed sunt non nullae disciplinae, quae propositis bonordrum et malordrum finibus officium omne pervertant. Cicero continues talking about ethics, and he says, and so, haec quaestio, this indeed est quaestio communis. This is the shared investigation, the common question, you might say. This is the uniting pursuit, that which holds them all together, of all philosophers. That is the question de officiis, the question of what is ethical or moral behavior. Notice how many hard consonants there are. Qua, haec, quidem, quaestio, communis. I believe this adds a kind of staccato dramatic effect to the diction. 4. Quis est? Who is there? This is the main verb of the sentence. Who is there? And then the predicate, you might say, quis is the subject, and here's the predicate. For who is there? Who? And then the verb audeat, the verb of this qui clause. Who would dare, and then its object, you might say, is dicere, who would dare to say. Now, what is it that they would dare to say? They would dare to say that they themselves say, and then we have esse implicit, because this say esse, which dicere introduces, is oratio obliqua. It is indirect statement, indirect discourse. Who would dare to make the claim that they are a philosopher, philosophum, nullis officii praeceptis tradendis. This phrase is an ablative absolute. The noun is praeceptis in the ablative, and the participle is tradendis, also in the ablative. This one, in fact, is a gerundive, that sort of adjective, also modified by nullis, and then officii here in the genitive singular. Of course, it's neuter. When they have handed down, or when they have not dealt with, the principles or the commandments of duty. Now, I think this particular ablative absolute should be taken as temporal, when, or perhaps conditional. So, there is nobody who can claim to be a philosopher if they don't deal with ethics. Sed sunt, but there are non nullae disciplinae, there are some disciplines. Now, non nullae means not none. And while in the Greek language, two negatives do not yield a positive, there's no mathematical kind of formulae, in Latin this is often the case. So not none means some. But there are some disciplines, some schools of thought, I think would be a better way to translate disciplinae, some philosophical positions, quae, of course, disciplinae as its antecedent, which, what do? Pervertant. They overthrow officium omne. They overthrow every consideration of ethics. They overthrow or overturn, corrupt all duty. And how do they do this? Propositis bonorum et malorum finibus. They have ruined, corrupted all duty by means of the boundaries or the limits of good things and evil things which they have set forth. These words here, bonorum et malorum finibus, are Cicero's sly reference to his own work of the same title, De Finibus Bonorum et Malorum. That work was written in the summer of 45, and the present one, De Officiis, 15 months later, in November of 44.